Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today, some massive Premier League games against Manchester United and Stoke City as we look to try and maintain a top 7 position in the Premier League, which is really exciting, and hopefully if we get some wins in our belt today, we can stay there for the rest of the season. First things first though, we are in the 30th of January. Deadline day is coming up very, very quickly, and I'm sure you're very keen to find out who we've signed. And I tell you what, me too, because we've not signed anyone yet. This has been the most frustrating transfer window I've ever had in Football Manager. I think I've been sat in January for almost 3 hours trying to get some transfers done, and it's just not working out for us. Literally, it's work permits that's been an issue for some things, but also players just rejecting us outright. We have bids accepted, but then the players reject us straight away. Players that do accept us, we get to contract negotiations and it's not sustainable. It's not financially sustainable for us, so we can't sign some of these players. It's really been a bit of a mess, and at the moment, we've signed no one. If we look at the transfer history, Ryan Price has left to go to Celtic. We mentioned that before, obviously, but we've signed no one as of yet, which isn't too bad. It's not the worst case scenario because as things stand, we are 7th in the table, which is really good. We'll take you through what's happened through January. However, if we want to maintain 7th and we want to progress, we need to be signing some players. So no players have been signed, but the good news is we've had an incredible run of form in between episodes. So after the 2-0 loss and the 5-1 win to Swansea in last episode, we took on Brighton, Wolves, Watford, Leicester, Villa and West Ham in games that were really important. A lot of these teams were just below us in the table, so we had to make sure we got some wins against them. And crucially, we did, starting off with a 1-0 win over Brighton with Ransford Nati Ofori getting another goal after he scored his first of the season against Swansea. So good stuff for him getting on the score sheet. We then took on Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home, and all the goals were scored within a 6-minute period. But Pomeroy and Howard Prosser got the 2 goals for us, which made sure we won it 2-1 in the end, which was really, really good. We then went to Watford and we beat Watford 1-0 with Jefferson Brillinger scoring in the 3rd minute. Now, what you'll realise in all 3 of these games is in the Brighton game, Marquez injured. Wolves game, Pomeroy injured. Watford game, Vinicius Jr. injured. All 3 of them have been out for a lot of these games, and it's been really impressive to say that we've kept winning despite having our 3 attackers out for a few games. We went to Leicester after this, and we actually stuck with a pretty strong lineup, thinking we might need to keep a strong lineup if we want to win the FA Cup this season. But unfortunately, Leicester beat us 2-0 in the FA Cup, which was really annoying because the FA Cup and the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, they're the best chances we've got of European qualification, and we're knocked out very early on in both of them. So the only way we can get into the Europa League this season is through automatic qualification through the league. So we've got to really push on in these final few months of the season. Aston Villa was up next. They're 6th in the table, or they are a top 6 club. They're currently in the Champions League as well, and a goalless draw with them was a very, very good result in my opinion. So I was pleased with that. And then we followed it up with a 2-1 win over West Ham United with Luke Carr and Franco Marquez after he's back from his injury picking up the goals in that game. So I think in between episodes it's been massively positive and it's pushed us up the table just a little bit to 7th place. As you can see, we are sitting on 40 points. However, we are only 1 point behind Villa, who have played 1 game more than us. We are actually only 4 points behind Liverpool, who have played 1 game more than us. So potentially today's episode we could bump ourselves up to 5th, but we have to make sure we beat Manchester United, who sit below us by a point. It's a real tough game, that one. Fingers crossed we get the job done for it. We also face Stoke afterwards, and they're sitting 12th on 25 points, but they're still a decent side that could cause us some damage. So today's episode, far from easy. So the lineup for today's game against Manchester United, luckily for us, we have sort of come back from injuries. We had so many injuries. I'll put a screenshot up now, actually, of all the injuries we had. But at one point, we had Pomeroy, Vinicius Jr., Marquez, Jimenez, Venturelli. I think it was just those 5 that might have been injured. I feel like it could have been a 6th player. I don't know. But either way, it'll be on the screen right now, all those players that were injured at one point or another, all at the same time, which was quite frustrating through January. But we've done ever so well. Anyway, coming into today's game, Solinka stays in goal as per usual with Jimenez, Delu, Berlinger and Mirza as the back line. Juliano jumps into that CDM position as Venturelli is just coming back from an injury, alongside Patrick, who's also coming back from an injury, which means that Willem and Prosser are our midfield duo today. Vinicius Jr. starts on the left, Marquez on the right, and Pomeroy leading the line with only his 8 goals this season. Obviously had a great little run of goals in the last game, but obviously got injured, so that sort of ruined it a little bit. Hopefully he grabs quite a few today, because we want to try and get him towards that 20 goal mark again this season. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today at home with Manchester United, the team we are facing today. Obviously they've not had a great season because they are sitting below us in the table in 8th. Not the best season for them. So hopefully we can take the game to them and try and get a win under our belts today. Obviously, transfer window has been really frustrating for us. It's just, it's players in any position that we're trying to sign. It's the right wing and defence that I think that we really need players in specifically. And I've been trying to sign those players, but it's just not working out. It's been so frustrating. So we might not actually sign anyone. Hopefully we'll try and get someone in before the deadline comes through. But Pomeroy, put forward early on, hits the post. And you can't miss chances like that against Manchester United. We do have a corner though, and this time Pomeroy gets on the end of it and gets his 9th of the season 15 minutes into today's game, which is a great start to the game for us and provisionally puts us in 6th position in the league. That's a great bit of play from us, and Manchester United just switching off completely there as Pomeroy can put it in the back of a net. I suppose actually, if we do manage to get Europa League football at the end of this season and qualify for it for next season, this summer we should be able to get some better quality players in because they want to be playing European football. But we'll need to keep the bulk of the squad because we will be needing, to be fair, we're just going to need definitely a bigger squad next season if we have European football to cope with all the rotation. As Pomeroy gets it down to Vinicius Junior, who scores the second goal of the game against Manchester United. Superb start to this game. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, these boys, they're staking their claim saying, no, we don't need more players. We don't need more players, but we do need more players. We do. We need better quality players. And we need more for a bigger squad next season if we do get Europa League football, which it's looking like we're on our way to at the moment as we are beating United 2-0. Of course, being 6th or 7th doesn't actually guarantee Europa League football. It all depends on the winners of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Now, the Carabao Cup's in its semi-final stages, and if I remember rightly, Chelsea and Man City are in the semi-finals, but also Manchester United and Brighton are also in the semi-finals. So as it stands right now, if Chelsea or City win it, then it's likely to go to 6th place in the Europa League spot because they're going to get Champions League football. But Brighton, if they win the Carabao Cup, then they've got it, and that takes it away from 7th position in the league, obviously. So it's lots of ifs and buts to get into that top 7, really, if we want Europa League football. As Vinicius Junior tackled, but Jimenez putting it back in. Willem now on the ball on the edge of the area. Prosser, who can shoot from distance, we know he can, puts it over the bar, unfortunately. As we're into the second half, though, as I was saying, if we want to guarantee European football next season, we need to be in the top 5. However, we're not going to be in the top 4, definitely for Champions League. If we want Europa League football, we have to be 5th because we are out of both the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. If we want to come 6th or 7th, we have to rely on other clubs ahead of us winning the Carabao and FA Cup. So it's a lot to play for still. Coming 5th and 6th, or 6th and 7th rather, doesn't guarantee Europa League football at all. As United have scored a goal. I thought that could have been offside there. It was a great first save, to be fair, from our goalkeeper, Solinkia. But United pull one back. But I'm not too worried about it yet. I think we've been playing very well. That's the first chance we've really seen United have. It's a great first save, to be fair. Just unfortunate it goes straight into the path of the United player. We've got half an hour left in today's game against United. If we can hold on for a win, I will be over the moon with this, because this is a fantastic result for us, especially against United who are chasing us down. It will put 4 points between us and United as well, which is massive. And with 20 minutes to go, as a highlight, we keep possession, which is good. I'm very concerned now, actually. Perhaps we need to go a bit more defensive towards the end of this game. We'll see what happens with this highlight, and then we'll make some changes tactically and with players. Come on, lads. Just don't mess around with it too much. Willem on the ball now. Puts it up towards Marquez, who actually is... I thought was going to get it. He doesn't get it. Romero clears it. But only as far as Jefferson Brillinger. United win the ball back. If they score an equaliser here, it's not too bad. It's not the worst case. It's still pretty good. But considering we were 2-0 up... you hate to see it. Maybe I should have gone more defensive after that first goal. I didn't even think about it, if I'm honest with you. Didn't even cross my mind because we had so long left in the game to play. I didn't want to go defensive too early, but this is what's happened when we don't go defensive. Quality of United has come back. As I've said, though, a 2-2 draw with United is not a bad result at all. 15 minutes left in today's game. We're going to bring... Lehmann's on for Prosser, and he can go a little bit more defensive as a central midfielder on defend. Pomeroy, how are these... The attackers are looking very well. They've all played well today. I don't really want to take them off. But we're going to go a little bit more balanced, I think, with our possessions, our style of play, perhaps. I think this is hopefully going to be a highlight for the substitutes. Hopefully it is, because United are looking good. It's a free kick for United. That should just be that then. 10 minutes left in today's game. If we can hold on for the draw, I'll be very, very happy. But with 5 minutes to go, which we'll come round to in a minute or so. Oh, United have got a chance. Cleared, but only as far as United players. Sosa can put the ball back in. If United score here... Oh, that is so annoying. Oh, I can't believe that's just happened. For goodness sake, boys. This is... How are United doing this? Oh, God, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. So in an awful turn of events, we drop down to 8th. United go up to 6th. I thought we were home and dry. We might grab an equaliser here as Vinicius Jr. should have crossed it rather than taking the shot himself. I understand why he had the shot. Oh, I can't believe this. The way we started today's game was emblematic of the way we've been playing in between episodes. We've been so good in between episodes. And we were so good for the first half of this game. The first half of this game, we were bloody incredible. And the second half, well, it all fell apart, really, didn't it? I'm far from pleased with that result. We've really got to step things up now. It also really highlights that we need to be making some transfers. And the deadline is tonight. Juan Francisco, which I think is the best name ever, is a player we've tried to sign a couple of times this window, but we just can't get a good deal negotiated with him in the contracts. He wants way too much money for what we're prepared to pay and things like that. So it's not quite going to work out, even though he's a very good defender for quite a good price. Oh, I tell you what, how have they done that? How have Bayer Leverkusen, first and foremost, got him for 21 million? We had to offer 26 million. He wouldn't take anything less than 120k per week with us. He wouldn't take anything less than 120k, and somehow Bayer Leverkusen got him 72 grand. I was offering more than that. I was offering 85k. Today is just not looking like it's going to be our episode, is it? See, we've had a bid here accepted for a guy from Brazil, £60 million. He's not interested in coming to us at all. Instead, we're having to negotiate with Manchester United for a 33-year-old centre-back who is good, but he's on a lot of money. And for 22 mil, we'll see what he wants to negotiate to. If we get it down to like 15, they want 17. How about 16? 16.25, all right. We'll see what he says wage-wise. Valencia are also willing to discuss with some guy for 15. Let's try and take this down to 10 million for this guy. He's 32 years old. We've settled on 11.5 million pounds for this player from Valencia. So this guy is 3.5 star. He's not actually as good as I thought he was going to be then. Antonio for Manchester United, though, is 4 star. I believe he is. And has played games this season for United. Although considering they are only just above us in the table, they just beat us, didn't they? But maybe he's not that good. This guy from United is not interested at all. And this guy is kind of interested. So let's exit talks from the United guy. This guy, let's make him first team instead. He wants to be a key player with a big wage rise. No, right, remove that. First team. He wants an awful lot, doesn't he? You're not demanding at all, are you? Okay, he's happy with those things there. Negotiate the contract. Dawson Lund, what do you suggest? Dawson Lund suggests this. Let's try and take this down to 70k, 1 million signing on fee. Remove that. Happy with those two-ish. He wants so much money. Why? What would we offer him before? 70k, 80k then. But then he's not, and he wants. Look at the finances. It's not worth it. He's 32 years old as well. He's not actually that good. We're not signing anyone. This January, which is that could be the end of our Europa League hopes this season. Oh, and right after that, Gangzu coming with an offer for Mirza, which actually is £23 million. He's valued at 22. It's not quite good enough, actually, so we will reject it. But if that was like a £40 million offer, we'd have accepted that, but then we'd only have Kooks at right back, and that would have left us even weaker. Instead, then, we're heading into the Stoke game with no real improvements to the squad. Juliano and Delu are going to swap over, and Venturelli's going to come back into the side, which is obviously quite a good thing. Other than that, though, I don't really feel like I need to make too many changes, because we have been playing well. We are a good side. We know we're a good side. We just got very unlucky against United. So hopefully today, we get back to winning ways and thrash Stoke. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today in, if we want to be in the Europa League next season, a must-win game here against Stoke. I mean, there's still a long way to go in the season, and it's still really close between us and Liverpool. So there's still a lot of chance for us to get into the top 7, or that 5th to 7th sort of position. Again, it also depends on the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but as long as we're in there, we're always going to be in with a chance. For the first half, isn't looking particularly good as we approach half-time now. Stoke have grabbed themselves from shots, but it's not really, doing anything in the game. We've had 2 more shots, and that was a highlight just before half-time. If we can score before half-time, that would make the world of difference as Willem puts it back to Marquez. Marquez, great ball forward to Pomeroy. Pomeroy, edge of the area, shoots. It's a tame shot in the end, and it's saved by the goalkeeper, and that's how the first half is going to be ending. We need to go aggressive at half-time, not a pure performance out there, and really go for it second half. We need the win here today. First highlight of the second half is a defensive throw-in for Stoke. And they've actually cleared it quite well. I thought we might put the pressure on, but we haven't put the pressure on. And Stoke are coming forward down their right-hand side of the pitch now. 4 men around that Lund guy, and they've left him completely open, number 3 Hemswell. But luckily, we get the block in, and now we've retained possession. Jimenez putting it up towards no one in the end. So really, that was absolutely what a waste that was. And Stoke, we've just about got in the way there, but Stoke's still on the ball. Butterworth. Today's episode, lads. All going wrong. And it's not like we're playing badly. We played really well in both games. Really well in both games. But the stat that matters is the scoreline. And right now, we are behind in it. Corner for us then. Marquez looking to get the back in the game. And he has done by putting it all the way through to Pomeroy. Instant reply from us there, which is really good to see. I mean, their goalkeeper completely messes it up here as he goes to the ball, misses it, and Pomeroy's there unmarked as well. So clearly, Stoke not getting their set-piece defending right at all there. But we're back in the game. It's back to 1-1, so we're back to level pegging. We need to show some passion out there. And has it done anything? It's done nothing to the player. It's motivated a few of them, but I think they were motivated beforehand anyway. It's not really done much at all. As Stoke with a free kick, cleared. And is Pomeroy going to win the race? He's not going to win the race, but will he get the tackling? He gets the tackling. Pomeroy coming forward, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, hits the bloody post. You hate to see it. Well, we really need to push for a goal now. So Venturelli is going to come off. Marquez is going to go up front. And we'll make Pomeroy the advance forward. We're going to bring Abel on the right-hand side. So Abel hasn't started many games at all. He's played a lot for the under-23s recently, but he's going to come on the pitch. Juliano's looking tired, so we'll bring on Randy Delou to make sure we don't get caught out at the back. That's the change that we'll make for now. Before the subs come on, there's potentially a chance for us now, but this could just be a highlight for the substitutes. As Pomeroy ends up winning the ball for us, he puts a great ball forward to Marquez, who wins it, but unfortunately nothing comes of it. Saying that though, the highlight has continued. Their goal kick went straight to our defenders, and we're carrying on again as Pomeroy coming forward. His shot saved again. Pomeroy, he's really trying, bless him. But with 15 minutes to go, we need to go attacking. We need to demand more out there. Demand more has done, again, nothing. Nothing to our players' body language or motivation. Okay, Mers is looking exhausted out there, but we're not subbing them off right now. Boys, we have to grab a goal. But Stoke are coming forward. Great tackle, or collection, sorry, from Salinkia. Right, sort this one out. Hoofed up to Pomeroy, which he is doing. Pomeroy wins it. Pomeroy in the box again. And again, he's been denied by the Stoke goalkeeper. If we don't pick up all 3 points in today's episode, or today's game against Stoke, I should say, it's gone in the back of a net. I think it's an own goal from Chukwu. I was about to say, if we don't get all 3 points in today's episode or game against Stoke, then really it's been such a waste. But somehow, I mean, quite frankly, that is an incredible header. He somehow back-headed it into his own net, which is amazing. Dropped that down to balanced. Hope we don't concede a goal, but that should seal the 3 points for us. And actually, it moves us back into 6th. As Man United must be drawing or losing their game. So we're back ahead of United, ahead of Aston Villa as well. Back to being a point behind Liverpool, but they've still got to play their game this game week. Okay, despite losing to United, it looks like it could be okay for now. Very fortunate in the way that we won the game, but we definitely deserved to win that. Who's right? What's happening here? Delu's injured. Clement. Oh, Dante Clement is away, 5 appearances away from making 50 for Sheffield Wednesday, so we get 70k. That's not much at all. Patrick's back in training, and Aston Villa must have slipped up because Dortmund is pleased to take advantage of the Aston Villa slip, which is really good. So we are back into 6th, 1 point behind Liverpool, but they've obviously still got to play their game against either West Ham or Sunderland or Southampton or like one of these top teams. I might as well just look, actually. That might be a bit more simple to look at. They're playing Watford, so that's probably going to be a win for them, isn't it? But they've got Champions League games coming up, which hopefully will tire them out towards the end of the season, which might play in our favour a little bit. What's not in our favour are the fixtures. Now, in between this episode and next episode, so next episode I think we're going to go for... I think we go for Leicester and Burnley next episode. So they're both bottom-feeded clubs that we should be beating. In between episodes, though, we've got a Man City, which is going to be tough, but and Tottenham as well. Tottenham and Man City in between this episode, so that's going to be tough. And then we're also between that episode and the final episode of the season, we've got Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal, which is going to be really tough. So we've got some real hard fixtures coming up, which are going to massively impact our chance of Europa League football. And perhaps we're only in 6th right now is because we've only played these teams once. We've not played these teams twice yet, you see. We've still got all these teams to play. Apart from Arsenal, but we still have got City, Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool to play. Have we got an Arsenal? We actually do. We've got all the top 5 to play still. So that's probably why we're doing so well. We probably will drop down a little bit. Oh, that's not nice. Either way, next episode is going to be exciting. Very exciting. So join us then for the next episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, by the way, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And I'll be seeing you next time then for some more Lincoln Loco action.